Hello, this is the Blimey Cow YouTuber, and welcome back to another video. And today I'll be watching Messy Mondays, playing the God card, and then, of course, I'll be commentating on it, and then reading some of the comments underneath. But without any further ado, let's just get into this video.
So I did an unscientific poll of kids in church youth group, and I asked them, why do you go to youth group? Here were the results. 85% said to learn more about God, 10% said to hang out with friends, and the remaining 5% said snacks. Well,
Cap.
that's all well and good, but I think we can all agree that those kids were most likely lying through their teeth, and the results were actually more like this. 95% of them are actually there to get a boyfriend or girlfriend, and the remaining 5% are there because they really do love those snacks. Sorry, God. But hey, at least we honor you through our fellowship. And fellowship is Christian youth group for flirting. Don't tell the big guy. Look, I don't care how much the youth leaders try to create an atmosphere of worship or try to get everyone to focus on God. If you stick a bunch of hormonal teenagers just a few years removed from puberty in the same room every week, guess what? God isn't going to be too high in the priority list. In fact, God just becomes a means to an end. Hey, so...
Alright. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's some truth to that. And I would probably say that my youth group was more not like that, less like that than most. Uh, I get the sense that some people at my youth group were like actually pretty serious about God, and the rest of us were not quite there, but like a little bit there, and in a certain way, I feel like it was almost the other way around, where God was the end to the means, or we came there for fellowship or whatever, and then it ended up actually developing our relationship with God and tying our view of that to good memories, if that makes any sense.
I've been praying about it, and I really feel like God is telling us that we're supposed to be together.
Wow, my hormones that I tell myself are God's voice say the exact same thing.
Let's make it Facebook-ish. But God isn't just used as an excuse to start a relationship. How would Christian teenagers possibly break up with each other if they didn't have the God card to fall back on? Yeah, so I used to think that you were really pretty, but now I changed my mind. I have daddy issues, so it's really hard for me to accept your love. You don't brush your teeth after you eat onions. I found someone hotter. You are boring. I didn't know you were saving your first kiss for marriage. You should have told me that up front. I mean, we'd known each other for a full week before we started dating. You'd think that'd come up. Why say how you really feel when you could just blame it on God? Yeah, God told me to break up with you.
But he just told you last week that we were supposed to be together.
Are you questioning God? I wonder what...
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how some people are so sensitive to what God is saying. And that's usually because it's not actually what God is saying. But I've also not, well, I mean, I can't say I've not seen that in action. I don't think it, I mean, I can't even say I don't think it's super prevalent because I don't really have any experience. And I don't think that playing, I don't, I don't think that every time someone says God told them to date someone or not to date someone, that they're necessarily being dishonest or that it's necessarily not true. Because I do think God can and does speak to us. I just think it's probably a lot less common than a lot of people like to make it out to be.
What God thinks about being the ultimate breakup trump card. Chris, can you hear? Chris, Cynthia is backsliding. You need to break up with her immediately, or else your spiritual life will suffer. That is an order. Ellen, you have 2 weeks with Connor, but after that, it is not my will anymore. Hello? Wait, Amanda, are you there? Okay, but I'm getting way ahead of myself because when you get to youth group, you're not thinking about how you're inevitably either going to play the God card or get the God card played on you. You're just looking for somebody to be totally crushing on. Maybe it was the quick but meaningful glance while everyone was at the theme park last weekend. Or maybe it was the late night chat on the last night of the Mexico missions trip. Something will eventually happen that will make you wonder, do they like me? Okay, so say you found your crush. Now what do? How do you light the flame of love in their heart? Because youth group sanctioned side hugs just aren't doing the trick. Youth.
How is that skit so accurate? Oh my gosh, wow, I don't want to make that sound ever again. That sound he made is just the worst thing ever. Oh my gosh, I love Big Head Kid.
Is all about creating opportunities for you to explore your crush. For example, you can make sure you're sitting next to her when it's prayer time. Oh, please, guys. Please don't let my hands get sweaty. She's the only girl I've ever loved. Please, guys. She's so pretty. Here's what it comes down to. You spend your whole week gearing up for this little 2-hour block when you get to see this person. So you need to go into it with a game plan. Just follow these 3 rules. Rule number 1, never, ever, 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 ever be obvious. Maybe this person that you're crushing on just hasn't decided if they like you or not. The quickest way for that decision to be made for them is if they start hearing rumors that you like them. You've got to be sly. For example, a good idea would be to try to get on her lane when the youth group goes bowling. A bad idea would be for you to do this. Hey, what lane are you going to be on?
I don't know yet. I just got my shoes.
Yeah, well, and just let me know as soon as possible, please! Oh, by the way, I got you a purity ring. Stay pure for me. Rule number 2, look.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, yeah, you don't want to be obvious, but you also, I don't think it's something you should be, like, ashamed of, or, I don't know, I guess it depends on how seriously you take yourself as a person.
For excuses for physical contact. Youth group is chock full of physical contact. Youth group games are the most consistent form of physical contact, but there are others from time to time. And no matter how many people are on the couch, there's always room for one more. Am I right? Is there room for me?
You're not leaving room for Jesus.
What is that? Yeah. Oh! You guys are cute. Hope you guys don't mind me sitting up here! Oh, don't mind scooting over, young ladies. I'll just sit here. Oh, is there room here? Yeah, okay. Now, there's some physical contact that's actually pretty noble. I mean, when the youth group goes ice skating, somebody has to do something to ensure that your crush doesn't fall, right? So you can grab their hand or keep your hands around their waist.
Hold up. No, not that one. Please, whatever you do, don't put your hands on their waist. That's so weird. Also, I mean, I guess it is a thing you see, but like, how is it that guys are always better ice skaters than girls? I'm not saying that guys are always better ice skater girls. I'm not saying guys are always better ice skaters than girls. But why do guys... There's always guys like holding the girl's hand on the ice skating rink. And I don't know. I'm just gonna say you can't expect to be a better ice skater than your crush just because you're a guy. That sounded like super feminist for some reason, and I'm not. But like, I can't imagine being. Well, actually, I'm a kind of decent ice skater. Whatever. Moving on.
To keep them on their feet and nobody's the wiser. And don't you just love the weeks when the youth pastor says you're gonna do trust falls? Yeah, I'm thinking about trusting in God the whole time I'm doing that exercise. And rule number 3, try to make yourself sound spiritual. Yeah, you know, I'm just really trying to focus on God and make him number 1 in my life. It's just really hard to be the man God wants me to be.
Wow, you sounded really spiritual when you just said that.
Yeah, you seem pretty spiritual too yourself. Do you want to go get coffee and pray together?
Yeah.
Once you've solidified the fact that your crush doesn't know that you're totally crushing, it's time to lay the spirituality on thick. So learn some popular Christian phrases and repeat them a lot. Then tell everyone that you're not currently dating because you're working on your relationship with God. And guess what? You'll have a girlfriend faster than you can say, God told us to date. Which, by the way, you will have to say a lot. But the inevitable downside is that you have to play the God card again once you want out of the relationship. Otherwise, it just sounds like you're not following God's will. Yeah, so I guess God just changed his mind about Karen and I.
Wow. Right around the same time that new girl shows up at youth group.
Hey, I got dibs. Look.
Alright. So, yeah. Gosh, a lot to react there. Trying to sound spiritual. I mean... guilty. But I don't know. I mean, is that one so bad? I mean, if you're doing it for like wholly wrong reasons, then I suppose. But I suppose as long as there's any sincerity at any level, then it can't. Then it'll actually most of the time end up actually helping you become more spiritual to act like that. I'm not saying this very well, but when you develop that, or when you encourage those tendencies, you actually develop your capacity for those areas of your life, I guess. And as to the other thing, calling dibs on the new girl, that's wild. That's like, what is wrong with you at that point, honestly?
Look, youth group relationships are a messy business, so tread lightly. Because for every magic moment you might have with your potential BF or GF, there's gonna be about 100 other moments just like this. Oh yeah, no, I didn't actually think that she really liked me or anything.
Alright, so, so yeah, I guess don't get your hopes up is the quote of the day or something. I don't know. I'm not having a lot to say on this one. Anyways, though, I'm gonna go and look at some of the comments now. Alright, so I went ahead and picked out some comments. So Um, I said 4 years ago, trust falls are fun. I do them with the ground just to win myself. It's true. I used to do trust falls with the ground just to win myself. And despite what I said, it wasn't actually that fun. Um, I mean, it was kind of fun, and then one time I winded myself like really good, and I still said it was fun, but low-key it hurt pretty bad, and I really haven't done it since. Um, at Stephen Brewer 42 says, obviously Jordan isn't generalizing all youth groups, but he is dead on for some of our youth groups. And again, like I tried to take exception to some of the statements, but to be fair, most of them was pretty true, even for like even for a really good youth group. You can't really deny. I can't really deny that there's some merit to most of those generalizations. At Liberty Set Square Jack says the real joke is it's not just youth group. A ton of adults are in church for the same reasons. Um, yeah, I agree. I mean, I've always said I've given advice to people that the best way to find the best place you can find a good woman is at church. Now, um, some of the people I I've said that to, I wouldn't feel comfortable actually setting up with a good person because they would probably just end up um, ruining their life, basically. um, but it's true. I mean, if you want if you want to find a good person, go to church. That's where you're gonna find them. And still alive and healing says I've been to 4 or 5 different youth groups that I remember, and one was actually literally spirit filled. I was invited by a friend I hadn't seen in about 5 to 6 years, and honestly, I was at a really, really spiritually low point in my life. I went and felt God's presence. It was crazy. It scared me at first, but I finally stopped fighting, went to their prayer room, and broke down, and since then, I've been making my way back to Him. It was so awesome to see tons, or teens on fire for God. Um, and yeah, I have to say there's, sounds like theirs is even, more, uh, legit than mine was. But, yeah, there's definitely those out there that are, uh, good. Um, oh, I do have one more. At Lily Real 5233 says, I'm crying with laughter. Make more Jesus videos. I need to have my opinions affirmed more often because I'm a self-absorbed millennial. I just picked that one because of the uh, self-aware statement about being a self-absorbed millennial. Anyways, though, that's all I had for today. Um, so, yeah, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.